straight in. Today we're on the Fs. However, we did cover all of the dragons and dragon types in my 3-part dragon series. So any dragons we come across we will skip over. And if you want to read through those, you can visit those videos. So today we start with the fire elemental. I like the destruction in this image. You can see it burning all of this foliage. You can see these birds desperately flying away. But what I find really interesting here is it's quite difficult to distinguish the shape of the fire elemental, which just feels so right, really. You can see a head here, and hands, and maybe a vague shoulder shape here, but everything else is just pure fire. Fire elemental, primal spirit of heat and flame, habitat, desert, planar, elemental plane of fire. Fire elementals arise when spirits of the elemental plane of fire inhabit flames, burning cinders, and heated smoke. These beings are tangible despite largely being made of flames and particles, and they can use their vague limbs to ignite foes and flammable materials. Fire elementals typically burn in shades of orange and red, but other colours are possible. Most on the material plane are summoned by magical means, or they might appear near rifts amid desert depths, volcanoes, wildfires, or magma flows that connect to their home plane. Fire elementals might burn in distinctive ways. Roll on or choose a result from the fire elemental compositions table to inspire a fire elemental's features. The fire elemental's body features 1. Colourful superheated gases, 2. A column of diabolical or divine flame, 3. Crackling shapes that look like animals, fiends, skeletons, sprites, or other beings, 4. Flames that are predominantly white, blue, or a more unusual colour, 3. The form of a calm or tormented humanoid, 6. Smoke that forms eerie shapes or symbols, 7. Soot that smells like cedar, cloves, incense, or burning meat, 8. Swirls of cinders and burning debris. A D8 for this one. 8. Swirls of cinders and burning debris. All the elements bow to fire. The strongest earth melts, water boils, even air ignites. We are all souls of flame, and we know what it is to burn. Marake the incandescent, ruler of Efreet. Fire elemental, large elemental, neutral. AC 13, HP 93, speed resistances, immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, traits, fire aura. At the end of each of the elemental's turns, each creature in a 10-foot emanation originating from the elemental takes 5 fire damage. Creatures and flammable objects in the emanation start burning. Fire form. The elemental can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch without expending extra movement to do so, and it can enter a creature's space and stop there. The first time it enters a creature's space on a turn, that creature takes 5 fire damage. Illumination. The elemental sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Water susceptibility. The elemental takes 3 cold damage for every 5 feet the elemental moves in water, or for every gallon of water splashed on it. Actions. Multi-attack. Burn. Melee attack roll +6. Reach 5 feet. Hit 10 fire damage. If the target is a creature or a flammable object, it starts burning. Here is that fire elemental. You can see the destruction now. As I mentioned, its form is only really half formed. It's mostly just a column of fire, with a vague shape of head and hands and a bit of shoulder. Next up, fire giants. It didn't occur to me until I saw this gentleman down here with the sheer size of them in this image. This flaming sword here, almost unable to see the metal from the strength of the fire. There's clearly a forge in the background. There's strong metal armor. This red hair. I love that they've gone to the extent of even doing the red eyebrows. You can almost see fire coming from their eyes. Fire giant. Giant of the smouldering depths. Habitat. Mountain. Underdark. Fire giants inhabit the hollow vaults and molten rivers of mountainous depths. There, they use subterranean heat and riches to craft wonders, from titanic weapons of war to delicate works of art. It's a shame this image didn't include any of those works of art. Fire giants have broad frames, skin tones in a variety of rock-like shades, and hair like flame. Most fire giants dwell in volcanically active mountains or cavernous depths that house their fortress forges. Evil fire giants tend to be martially minded, and they craft mighty arms to conquer their neighbours and seize valuable resources. More temperate fire giants trade their works for what they need, and they might share the ancient techniques of dragon artisans with other craftspeople. In either case, fire giants are prone to undertaking ambitious designs, and they rarely appreciate interruptions in their titanic workshops. slashing damage, plus 10 fire damage. Hammer throw, ranged attack roll, plus 11, range 60 to 240 feet. Hit, 23 bludgeoning damage, plus 4 fire damage, and the target is pushed up to 18 feet, straight away from the giant, and has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. Here we have the flame skull. I think I definitely prefer these bright, colourful images. This purple dragon-like skull over here. This yellow, sort of ape-like, gorilla-like skull here. And this green human one. These etchings, these symbols carved into the bone on each of them. I think I'd be quite fascinated to see one of these hurling itself at me. Flame skull. Skull smouldering with magical obsession. Habitat Underdark. Flame skulls are flying skulls that blaze with magical fire, and the half-remembered arcana of dead spellcasters. They rise from the remains of dead magic users who were reanimated by sinister necromancers, or whose magical pursuits drive them beyond death. Flame skulls might serve as guardians for their creators, or pursue ambitions left unfulfilled in life. They lash out at foes with destructive bursts of fire, wielding magic without the need for components. Apologies, without the need for most components. Flame skulls take various forms, from skulls with human-like features to ones with fearsome or bestial alterations. Their flames vary in colour and grow more intense when they're angry. Roll on, or choose a result from the Flame Skull Details table to inspire what makes the Flame Skull distinctive. It is giving off slight Ghost Rider vibes for me. The Flame Skull features 1. Arcane diagrams etched into it. 2. Flames like dramatic features, horns or hair. 3. Fractured pieces that fly in unison. 4. An iron plate bolted over its mouth. 5. Lethal head trauma. And 6. Mismatched animal teeth. A D6 for this one. 6. Mismatched animal teeth. I never cared for warmth. I never needed a body. My will is enough, and my work will be the legacy that makes my every sacrifice worthwhile. Trenzia, under mountain flame skull. Flame skull, tiny undead, neutral evil. AC 13, HP 40, speed 5 feet, fly 40 feet, initiative +3. Its scores here. Skills, immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, sheds bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet. Magic resistance. Undead restoration. If the flame skull is destroyed, it regains all its hit points in 1 hour, unless holy water is sprinkled on its remains, or the Dispel Evil and Good spell is cast on them. Actions. Multi-attack. Fire ray. Melee or ranged attack roll. +5. Reach 5 feet or range 60 feet. Hit 13 fire damage. Spellcasting. At will. Mage hand. Twice per day. Magic missile level 2 version. Once per day. Fireball. Here we have the flame skull. The 3 distinct types. This dragon-like skull. This ape gorilla type. And then this human one. 3 really gorgeous colours, and you can see the etchings on their skulls on the bone. A flesh golem here. I imagine very inspired by Frankenstein's monster, at least in this image. The colours on this are wonderful. This purple grey here of the bruising, and again on its chest. But the slight yellowish green in other places. This sort of green shining through its stitches here, where the lightning is hitting its chest, giving it life. Looks like it's in a lot of pain, though, through this process. Flesh golem. Dead flesh given new life. Habitat any. Flesh golems are roughly human-shaped collections of body parts bound together by misused magic or strange science. They serve their reckless creators, but many possess disjointed memories and instincts from their component parts. If wounded, these golems might go berserk and vent their confusion on anything in their sight, including their creators. Flesh golems appear in varied forms. Roll on or choose a result from the flesh golem characteristics table to inspire a flesh golem's features. The golem has 1. Animal parts among its human-like pieces. 2. A disguise of makeup and heavy clothing. 3. Missing parts and exposed insides. 4. Parts serving unintended roles like a body composed of dozens of hands. 5. Perfect features accented by beautiful stitching. 6. Visible mechanisms, bellows and engines. Another D6. 4. Wrong one, over here. Parts serving unintended roles, like a body composed of dozens of hands. Very eerie. HP 127, speed 30 feet, initiative -1. Its scores here: immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating. Its traits down here, quite a few. Aversion to fire. If the golem takes fire damage, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the end of its next turn. Berserk. Whenever the golem starts its turn bloodied, roll 1d6. On a 6, the golem goes berserk. On each of its turns while berserk, the golem attacks the nearest creature it can see. If no creature is near enough to move to and attack, the golem attacks an object. Once the golem goes berserk, it remains so until it is destroyed or it is no longer bloodied. The golem's creator, if within 60 feet of the berserk golem, can try to calm it by taking an action to make a DC 15 charisma persuasion check. The golem must be able to hear its creator. If this check succeeds, the golem ceases being berserk until the start of its next turn, at which point it resumes rolling for the berserk trait again if it is still bloodied. Immutable form. The golem can't shapeshift. Lightning absorption. Whenever the golem is subjected to lightning damage, it regains a number of hit points equal to the lightning damage dealt. Magic resistance. Actions: multi-attack, slam, melee attack roll +7, reach 5 feet, hit 13 bludgeoning damage, +4 lightning damage. Here we have the absolutely adorable Flump. This is such a cheery image. It's very clearly happy Flump. This gorgeous orange, its tentacles fading into this lovely jelly-like blue. All the ones in the background and these gorgeous purples and pinks. You can see the rock around the outside, almost giving it quite a geode sort of look. Flump. Strange ally from a strange place. Habitat: Underdark. Bizarre creatures with aberrant agendas inhabit the Underdark. Flump's number among the few that are helpful to strangers. These tentacled, telepathic creatures jet through the air in short bursts, venting gases with a sound that gives them their name. Rather than speaking, Flumps communicate telepathically and by changing colour to reflect their moods. Flumps dwell in psychically charged regions or near creatures with psionic magic. They harmlessly feed off psychic energies, but in doing so they often encounter dangerous beings such as aboleths and mind flayers. While Flumps generally avoid combat, they often help adventurers in peril. Such help might be of doubtful use, but Flumps mean well. Roll on or choose a result from the Flump assistance table to inspire what support Flumps provide. I can already imagine these are going to be wonderful and funny. The Flump helps by. smell poem. I need to know what that is. 3. Recovering and nursing fallen adventurers. 4. Revealing the location of helpful magic items. 5. Serving as a guide to a foe's hidden lair. And 6. Sharing excessive encouragement and praise. I'm going to roll a d6 for this, and I'm desperately hoping it's number 2 because that is just brilliant. I will re-roll that. It's 3. Recovering and nursing fallen adventurers, which is of course very, very helpful. But I think I would just love to have a Flump following me around, performing smell poems. Flump collars. A Flump's extremities change colour to reflect its mood. The Flump colours and emotions table summarises common Flump colours and the human emotions to which they most closely correspond. Dark blue, sadness. Light blue, happiness. Green, curiosity. Magenta, unknown. Rarely seen, potentially no human equivalent. Orange, confusion. Pink, amusement. Purple, fear. Red, anger. Teal, serenity. Yellow, excitement. Teal is actually my favourite colour, and I do often seek serenity, so I love that combination there. So we know the Flump in this image is either curious leading to happiness, or he was happy and now curious. Flump, small aberration, lawful good. AC 12, HP 7, speed 5 feet, fly 30 feet, initiative +2. It scores here. Skills, vulnerabilities, senses, languages, challenge rating, traits, advanced telepathy. The Flump perceives the content of any telepathic communication within 60 feet of it. Prone deficiency. If the Flump receives the prone condition, roll or die. On an odd number, it has the incapacitated condition. At the end of each of its turns, the Flump makes a DC 10 dexterity saving throw, ending the incapacitated condition on a success. Telepathic shroud. The Flump's thoughts can't be read by any means, and magic can't detect its location or observe it remotely. Actions. Tentacle. Stench spray. Once per day. Dexterity saving throw DC 10. One creature the Flump can see within 15 feet. Failure. The target is coated in a foul-smelling liquid, exudes a stench for 1d4 hours, and has the poisoned condition while the stench lasts. Other creatures have the poison condition while in a 5-foot emanation originating from the coated target. The target can remove the stench on itself if it bathes during a short or long rest. Feel like it's just delightful, I really do. And in direct contrast with the Flump, we have the Fomorian. So off-putting in so many ways. I do not know what's pustules in these strangely pretty colours, but glistening really grossly. The glee on this one's face as it sort of commits this destruction. Yes, definitely an image I don't want to commit to memory. Fomorian, cursed giant of the dark, habitat underdark. Once infamous for their magical aptitude, Fomorians are giants afflicted with a fey curse. In their pride, they were tricked into invading the Feywild to claim its magic for their own. When the archfey rulers of that realm united, the Fomorians were turned back and cursed with supernatural strangeness to make their bodies match their vile souls. Ever since, Fomorians have dwelled in the Underdark amid the ruins of their magical cities. The Archfey's curse afflicts them still, tormenting them with wandering cankers, lurching organs, and stranger discomforts. Rather than atoning for their offences, Fomorians harness the magic of their curse and turn it against others. Roll on or choose a result from the Fomorian warping table to inspire the cosmetic effects a creature undergoes while they're affected by the Fomorian's warping hex. The Fomorian's hex causes 1. Colourful wandering pustules. 2. Excessive sweating of rainbow-hued fluids. 3. Patches of wriggling hair. 4. Veins that bulge and lurch under the skin. Not sure what result I'd want from this, but here we go. 4. Veins that bulge or lurch under the skin. All-Father Annam banished his son, Carantor, for Carantor's part in the Fomorian assault on the Feywild. That day, the ordning, the hierarchy of the giants and their gods, changed forever, and the Fomorians were part of it no more. Familiar name here, Bigby. Fomorian, huge giant, chaotic evil. AC 14, HP 172, speed 40 feet, initiative +0. It scores here. Skills, senses, languages, challenge rating, actions, multi-attack, great club, melee attack roll +9, reach 15 feet, hit 24 bludgeoning damage, and warping hex, recharge 4 to 6, wisdom saving throw DC 16. One creature the Fomorian can see within 120 feet. Failure, 21 psychic damage, and the target gains 1 exhaustion level. Success, half damage only. And here we have a close-up of the Fomorian. Those colourful pustules is mentioned as one of the effects of the warping hex. That foot that just freaked me out so much and still does. It's a glowing eye. Just bringing destruction down upon the Underdark. Another giant here, the frost giant. I love the distinctive differences they make with the giants. So here we have this purple skin colour here, and what looks to be some kind of dark blue verging on purple. The last one's had that grey rock-like skin. The horns on its helmet here, likely some kind of tusk, and these in a different direction. This flowing white beard in contrast with its skin. These ice weapons here, clearly influenced by Viking heritage. I love the scars you can see on its skin. Frost giant, giant of the ice and snow. Habitat, Arctic, mountain. From glacial mountain heights and vast tundras rise the homes of frost giants. These giants have skin and hair of icy hues. Their natural immunity to cold allows them to flourish in places inhospitable to most other creatures. They use this resilience to aid them when hunting and in combat, bolstering their allies with chilling war cries. Frost giants often travel far to find food and goods. This leads many to become raiders and earn violent reputations. Others live more peaceably by hunting titanic game or creating sanctuaries from the cold, frequently featuring hot springs or snowy contests. Frost giants sometimes forge partnerships with icy fae or fire giants dwelling underground, serving as guardians to their realms in exchange for treasure, weapons, and crafts. The small folk have barely anything worth looting, so they shouldn't mind much when we take it from them. Jarl Grugna, Frost Giant. Frost Giant, huge giant, neutral evil. AC 15, HP 149, speed 40 feet, initiative +2. Its scores here: skills, immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, actions, multi-attack, frost axe, melee attack roll +9, reach 10 feet, hit 19 slashing damage +9 cold damage. Great bow, bonus action, war cry, recharge 5 to 6. The giant or one creature of its choice that can see or hear it gains 16 temporary hit points and has advantage on attack rolls until the start of the giant's next turn. Our last one for the day, Fungi. This is quite an interesting image, to say the least. We have all these different types of fungus. It says here, a gas spore and clusters of shriekers and violet fungi grow in the Underdark. Wonderful. So we have this then the shrieker fungus around it, growing from this unfortunate soul. Like how you can see its spellbook, its grimoire down here also being taken. Fungi, deadly spores and predatory polyps. Habitat, Underdark. The dank, sunless Underdark is a fertile breeding ground for weird and dangerous fungi. Gas spore fungus. Gas spores are floating, orbicular fungi with rhizome growths and protuberances that resemble the stalks and eyes of beholders. If destroyed, a gas spore explodes in a poisonous burst that can infect creatures and slay them in hours. Infected corpses spawn more gas spores that grow to full size in a matter of days. Gas spore fungus, large plant, unaligned. AC 8, HP 13, speed 5 feet, fly 10 feet, initiative -5. Its scores here. Immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, traits, just the one here, death burst. The gas spore bursts when it dies. Constitution saving throw DC 10. Each creature in a 20-foot emanation originating from the gas spore. Failure. The target takes 10 poison damage and has the poisoned condition for 1d12 hours. Unless the poisoned condition is removed, the target dies at the end of that time and sprouts 2d4 tiny gas spore fungi, each with 1 hit point. After 2d6 days, they become large and have 13 hit points. Actions: Tendril, melee attack roll +0, reach 5 feet, hit 3 poison damage, and the target has the poisoned condition until the end of its next turn. Quite an easy enemy to overcome, but so dangerous when you do so. Shrieker fungus. If exposed to light or otherwise disturbed, mushroom-like shriekers emit a high-pitched noise that gives them their name. This wailing might alert other creatures or attract predators. Shrieker fungus, medium plant, unaligned. AC 5, HP 13, speed 5 feet, initiative -5. Its scores here. Immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, reactions, shriek, trigger. A creature or a source of bright light moves within 30 feet of the shrieker. Response: the shrieker emits a shriek audible within 300 feet of itself for 1 minute or until the shrieker dies. And then the last types of fungi over here. Pictured, we have the violet fungus necrohulk. Good lord. Just an amalgamation of fungus and dead things, skulls. You can see branch-like, vine-like things wreathing all the way through initiative -5, and its scores here: immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating, actions, multi-attack, rotting touch, melee attack roll +2, reach 10 feet, hit 4 necrotic damage. And then our last type of fungus and last monster for today, Violet Fungus Necrohulk. A violet fungus necrohulk forms when a violet fungus colony infests and animates an ample heap of decay. This necrohulk attacks prey and spreads fungal spores for the colony. Violet fungus necrohulk. Large plant, neutral evil. AC 17. HP 123. Speed 40 feet. And initiative +4. Its scores here: immunities, senses, languages, challenge rating. Its actions here: multi-attack, rotting slam, and spore bomb. Recharge 5 to 6. Constitution saving throw DC 15. Each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point the necrohulk can see within 60 feet. Failure: 28 necrotic damage, and the target has the poisoned condition until the start of the necrohulk's next turn. While poisoned, the target can't regain hit points. Success: half damage only. And a rather ominous bonus action here, absorb body. Strength saving throw DC 15. One medium or small creature the necrohulk can see within 5 feet. Failure: the target is pulled into the necrohulk's space and becomes grafted to its body. The necrohulk can have only one target grafted at a time. While grafted, the target has the restrained condition and a disadvantage on constitution saving throws. When the necrohulk moves, the grafted target moves with it. If the target dies while grafted, its body is destroyed and the necrohulk gains 10 hit points. The grafted target or a creature within 5 feet of the necrohulk can take an action to make a DC 15 strength athletics check. On a successful check, the target is no longer grafted and moves to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the necrohulk. And here, the violet fungus necrohulk. Such a formidable monster, but such an interesting image. All of these bones, these skulls and rib cages forming this giant